Today we're talking about combs. Not just any comb, but Savvy Jack combs. Now I am going to be focusing on these two, both the Tomahawk and the Pocket Pick. But first I want to tell you guys about his beard combs that he sent me. Now I do believe that they are both a little bit modified from these original versions according to his website. Now this one here is a very nice heavy duty made out of two different woods, which are walnut and hard maple, which gives it this really beautiful look to it. As you can see here, it is split right there. It's got his logo on top, and it is a fairly nice beard comb. And I have to say that both of his beard combs have a fairly large gap. For me, my beard is a bit thinner than a lot of guys, and so I would like to see these a little bit closer together, maybe half the gap that they currently have. However, for you gentlemen out there with the great big beards, I think that these are great. Now I've used both of these on and off since I got them, and I think that it does a very good job on my beard. Now for the two main attractions. We're going to take a look at the Pocket Pick first. This is a very small pick. As you see, it's only 1.4 inches long and the same wide. So it fits very nicely in that little pocket in your jean pocket that you really don't know what to carry in it. Well, now you do, because this little pick is made out of ironwood. It is not going to break easily, gentlemen. Ironwood, as you know, is one of the hardest woods out there. Now, I have a habit of needing to fidget with things, especially when I'm around a lot of people and stuff. And I found that since I've lost my challenge coin that I usually fidget with, that this became the replacement, and it just feels so nice and soft in the hands. The teeth are very nice and close together, so it works very well for the mustache itself, as well as even the goatee. I've used this quite a few times when I am out and about, just because I already have it in my hand, and it can be very easy to hold like this in between your pointer finger and middle finger, and I like to just rub it right back in back of my beard like that, and to the sides. And of course it is great for those touch-ups on the mustache as well. As you see, it just slides through really nice and easy. Now when I got this, the tips of the comb were a little bit pointy, and he told me that he did a modification on it where he rounded those over a little bit, and I did the same with just a simple piece of sandpaper, and I think I got mine pretty close to what he is probably doing his at now. And I never once had this poke me in my pocket, which I thought that it would, just because it's small and it's definitely got some points on it. I never noticed it. I wasn't carrying it a lot in the little pocket. However, even down in the big pockets with all my heavy keys and stuff, this thing was absolutely great. Now for the Tomahawk. This thing is packed full of features, especially made for your mustache. The brush and the comb both have a 1.5 inch length on them. So therefore, you got plenty of space for your mustache. I used the boar hairs brush more often on my eyebrows, just because it is nice and soft and would really get them lined up nicely. And every now and then I would use it on my mustache as well, especially around the nose area. Now, as you can see, these are not straight like a normal brush and comb would be. And that's because he's made this so that you get out away from your beard and your face when you are brushing. As you can see, when I'm brushing right here, it is away from my beard, and my beard is nowhere in the way of me separating and combing my mustache. Now that's not all the tricks that the Tomahawk has, because it also has a tip covered in urethane so that you can wrap really nice tight curls around it. And that's why I don't have mustache wax in my mustache yet, because I want to see how well that actually works. Because I knew that they were shaped like that for a reason, but I wasn't sure why. And honestly, I don't do that tight of curls anyway. But today, I want to try it. Alright, so I just applied a base layer of mustache wax from Savvy Jack. Now, let's use this comb here to kind of separate it a little bit. Goes through very nicely. Without pulling up any hairs. All right, now that I got that done, let's get the tips together. And let's go ahead and use this little tight curl maker here. All right, so as you can see, I've got it all bunched up there. I'm going to try to kind of pinch all that together and slide it on off. All right. I'd say that made a nice tight curl. Now for the other side. And it popped back open a little bit, but that might be because I just don't have the wax in the right spot. But I would have to say that that looks pretty dang good, especially for the first try of the tight curl maker. Now I'm sure that the more wax that you apply to your mustache, the more tight you're going to be able to get it, especially if you were to use a hair dryer to kind of warm up that wax and let it cool down a little bit before you pulled the curl maker out. I think that you'd be able to do that fairly well. But as you know, I prefer my larger curls here, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull them out a little bit. And there we go. Now, one thing that you want to make sure of when you get your tomahawk is you are going to want to take the little card that is attached and flip it around. Now, there is a little mini brush right there. Now, you might be wondering what this adorable little comb is for. Well, it's to clean out the comb portion of your tomahawk, because sometimes wax will get built up in there. You can warm it up a little bit and remove it with the mini brush. Now, if you don't see a mini brush in the back of the card, make sure to check the packaging that it came in. I actually had a message Savvy Jack because I didn't know what this was when I found it laying on the ground. Luckily, I didn't throw it out, so just make sure that you have that before you throw out all of the packaging. Now, from my experience using all of his brushes, well, they're good. They are wood combs. He's done a very good job to make sure that there's no sharp edges on them that are going to cut the beard or the mustache. He has done a superb job on making sure that everything feels nice in the hand and is very organic to use, and it takes no time to get used to using it, even though that you've never used a comb with these at an angle before. You're gonna get used to it very, very quickly, and it just feels right in the hand. As far as the price goes, well, being as to how Savvy Jack makes these all himself, they're not made in a factory, they're not mass produced. Literally on their website, it's got a countdown of how many of them are left, and after that you have to pre-order them for the next time that he goes and he makes a batch, which is usually in about 5 to 7 days when he sees that some need to be made. The tomahawk comes in at $30, which you might think is a bit expensive for a comb. However, once you put in that it is handcrafted, that it is handmade, you are paying handmade and handcrafted prices. But honestly, the tomahawk makes up for it in the convenience of having 2 combs in one, plus a little mustache curler. Now, if that's a little bit too much for you to spend, but you are really looking for a nice little pocket pick, I highly suggest picking this up at just $15 each. It is well worth that. I'd be more than happy to pay that for the pocket pick, and I think that this is going to last me just as long, most likely, as the tomahawk would. If you want to pick yourself up the tomahawk, the pocket pick, or either of the beard combs that you've seen me talk about today, make sure to check out the link below, as well as I think there's a discount down there as well. Now, if you liked the handcrafted products that I've showed you today, make sure to check out the playlist of Savvy Jack right up here for more products from Savvy Jack. Down below, that's going to be a video that you'll probably enjoy as well. Until next time, as always, you have a good one.